Hi everyone, welcome back. In today's tech landscape, we are seeing some really interesting advancements, especially in large language models. LLMs are making waves, and it's worth understanding what they can do, what they cannot do, and how should they fit in our workflows. Think of them as powerful helpers, tools that can assist with various tasks, from writing code snippets to summarizing information directly within our coding environments. Today we are talking about VSCode. So it's easy to get caught in the hype, but it's important to remember that coding isn't going anywhere. Instead, it's evolving. LLMs are changing how we work, or at least how I work, and it's crucial for us to adapt and learn how to use these tools effectively. In this video, we will explore practical ways to integrate LLMs into our projects, focusing on tools that enhance your coding experience so that you can boost up your skills and stay ahead. Let's dive in. Okay, so let's start exploring Cline. It's a nice coding agent extension for VS Code. So if you're a VS Code user, and many of us are, Cline can become your intelligent coding partner that integrates right inside your editor. So what I will do is search in the extension tab for Cline. I actually deleted it before, but I will install it again. This is Cline. We have some readme informations about it that you can read about. It's actually open source, and you can use or read or fork their GitHub. This is the new icon that has been created by Cline, and here is where the magic comes in. I will go into the settings tab here in the top right corner. We have different API providers, but I will stick to OpenAI compatible because I don't want to change them every time I choose to change my LLM. Today I'm going to talk about Google and their API, and about some local APIs that we can use, but I will tell you before that it might not work. It really depends on your hardware. So my workstation is a MacBook with 8 gigabytes of RAM. So I won't be able to run a model larger than, I think, 1.5 billion parameters, and it might not respond to the agent capabilities that Cline requests. So I will try, but I tell you before that it might not work on your machine. So this is free. We can go to AI Studio from Google. We can just search for Google AI Studio, create an account with our Google account, and go to API key. So when you start up, it might come it here. We have different models with different prices, and we can go to get API key. And here we have two things that are important for us. The first one is what URL we are going to use for our OpenAPI API. OpenAPI compatible provider. So this is the part that we are going to use. We don't use the next variable from the path because we are going to set the model outside of the URL. So we just need the base URL, which is this. We just copy it here, and here we actually have two more fields. I will start with OpenAPI key. The key can be found in their documentation. So when we go to pricing, there are multiple models with different pricings. Google just released the Gemini 2.0 Flash models, but I wanted to work with their thinking models, such as their I guess, DeepSeek models, but I think Google came up first with it. I can just copy the model name and go to our coding agent. Just go here, and to use the Open API key, just create an API key, go to your projects, select one. I think there is a default one, if I'm not mistaken, and create a new project. Copy the API key. You won't be able to see it again next time, so make sure you save it somewhere safe, or just be prepared to just change them over time, which is actually a good idea, to not use the API key more than, I guess, half a year, maybe. They will let you actually use it for 1 year. Okay, just copy it here. I won't show you the API key I have. And the custom instructions are going to be empty when you first open up the Cline agent. So we can read about it here. These instructions are going to be added at the end of the prompt every time we send a new request. What are these custom instructions first? Well, you have to know about prompt engineering first. It is a crucial skill when working with AI coding assistants like Cline. LLMs are powerful, but we have to know how to use them and to get the best assistance from them, and we have to guide them effectively. So think of the prompts as your way to communicate with your assistant, and make sure that you use a clear and well-defined prompt, because they lead to much more useful and targeted AI code completion. A vague prompt inside Cline, like write code for this, like, I don't know, divide two numbers in a function in Python, or maybe we just don't say the language we want to use. It won't work because it doesn't know, what to return. Maybe we want to return the integer, not the actual number with the actual float number that the division returns, and many things like that. So it's actually pretty similar to how we would interpret our tickets, like Jira tickets or whatever. So you do need some well-defined requirements, and he needs them too. So here would be a more specific prompt, like write a Python function to calculate the average of a list of numbers, including error handling for an empty list. It just gives Cline much better context. So now Cline can generate code that's far more relevant immediately, because you've clearly defined your requirements, and this highlights the importance of prompt engineering. It's just about learning to formulate your request precisely to get the desired output. We have to remember to leverage the custom instructions. You probably won't change them too often. So many coding AI tools allow for some level of customization. You can go to OpenAI, set the system prompt in the settings. So this could involve setting some preferred coding styles or specifying the type of assistance you need most. For this, I used the ChatGPT coding Reddit. I will put a link in the description below. These instructions are essentially a blueprint for crafting the prompts that lead to a more robust and well-defined AI interactions. They guide the AI to handle sensitive information like credentials with care, and enforce a step-by-step approach to handle the complex requests, which the model with thinking will do much better than the previous models. And the system prompt that I'm going to provide you it ensures that tasks are broken down into manageable tasks with verifiable actions, and these are the key for a reliable outcome. Moreover, the instructions promote organization and maintainability. By following these principles, you are not just giving the AI the task, but we are teaching it how we want to get the output. Okay, we talked about how we set up the Gemini key and how the Cline is set up. I will copy the system prompt. This is the system prompt I'm going to use. Okay, and just click done. And this is the interface we are going to use to create our task. So as I stated before, I just want to have a new enhanced version of my prompt, and we can do it manually, or we can use a new custom GPT or any other LLM you want to enhance the prompt you're giving it. So maybe you have a Jira ticket and it is already defined clearly, but here we can just narrate the prompt we are going to give him, and GPT mostly will make it prettier, and it will indent things differently, it will create bullet points, and it will be easier for the model to break down the actions into manageable and verifiable tasks. So I'm going to give it the new enhanced prompt and let Cline do its magic. Okay, we can see that I got a 429 status code. This is because I hit the limit, and you just have to wait like a minute more just to retry your request. Okay, so I just reset my Cline. I will give him the prompt that should create a CSV file with some random data. Okay, so we can see that it gave us a pretty decent code. So I will accept it. Okay, so now it wants to run the code, but I want to split it into multiple files. Okay, so we can see that it generated a new file and moved the code from the original file there. Okay, this is what we want. And it will try to run the command with Python, but I actually don't have Python installed directly on the machine. I use Conda, so I will tell him to use the Conda environment. Okay, so we got a limit. I will wait for a couple of seconds, a minute, and then we can continue with it. Smaller models, faster models will have larger limits, and it will be harder for us to reach them. Okay, so let's talk a little about the pricing. We see that we can make 15 requests per minute on the most capable model. On the Flashlight, which is a smaller and more effective model, they double that. And on older models, we see that it's actually just 15 requests per minute. I think we should be okay with the light if you just want to generate code faster. Okay, I will retry it. Okay, so we can see that it wants to run the code. But now we can see that Cline wants to open the CSV, but I will tell him to use cut command. It just replaced and with this amp. Don't. Okay. Okay, and we can see that the task is completed. We can cut the custom data file, and we see that we got 20 rows and just 2 columns. And I will call this a win for a small project. So we've explored practical ways to integrate LLMs into our coding projects. It was a really small example, but we can grow from there. And you can play with it, make him explain pieces of code, files, or separate into specific folders. The magic of it, it's just the fact that it knows about the whole project. So you don't need to feed the whole files into the ChatGPT UI or whatever LLM you are using. And it's pretty powerful. I think I got better results in React, but you can try it in different technologies and let me know what experiences did you have. You now have a range of options to start experimenting and incorporating AI assistance into your development workflow. And let me know in the comments which VS Code AI extensions or API you are most interested in exploring. If you found this video helpful and informative, please give it a like, subscribe for more insights into developer tools and technologies, and share it with fellow developers who are navigating the integration of AI in coding. Thanks for watching and keep coding responsibly and thoughtfully. Goodbye.